we're going to be talking all about how to evaluate algebraic expressions. So I just have a few examples for us. All that they mean when they ask for you to evaluate expressions is to find the value. So a lot of times they will give you a list of values for different variables, or they might give you the values for the variables just for each single problem. For this one, we're going to use these four variables values in all four of these problems. And I have some steps listed out here to the side. It's pretty simple. First, we're going to just substitute in the value that we're given, and then we're going to use order of operations to go ahead and solve that problem. So let's get started with the first one. Here we see 3x plus 2. So the only variable that I have is x. So I'm going to look up here at my list, and x, I'm told, is equal to 5. So the first step is to substitute in, and I like to just go ahead and rewrite it with the value for x substituted in parentheses. Rather than writing it without parentheses, if I didn't write this with parentheses, it might look like 35, so we want to really make sure that we know exactly what operations we're supposed to be completing here. And then we are going to follow order of operations. Now, if you need a review on order of operations, I do have another video that goes through that and how to use them properly. But let's just go ahead and start with our multiplication first, where we have multiplication and addition. So multiplication comes first. So we do 3 times 5, which is 15. And then I'm just going to drop down that plus 2. And then that's the last operation that we have. 15 plus 2 is 17. So that's what we get when we evaluate this first expression. Let's go on to problem 2. In this one, we have two variables, b and a. So again, I'm just going to rewrite this, and I'm going to substitute in 0 for b in a parentheses, and then a equals 2. So I'm going to substitute in 2 there. Okay. Now again, we're just going to follow order of operations. There's no actual operation inside this particular set of parentheses or this one. So we're going to be solving this outside parentheses and the things that are inside of that. So 0 plus 2 equals 2. And then I'm going to drop down my division sign and 14. And then 14 divided by 2 gives us 7. All right, number 3, we've got some fractions here with 3 different variables. So again, the first step is just to go ahead and substitute in those values for each of my variables. A is 2, y is 1. Okay, so I've just substituted in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go ahead and simplify each of these fractions. Remember that a fraction is just another way of writing division. So if I wind up with a whole number for each of these fractions, then that's going to make this a lot easier than trying to add them together as fractions and finding common denominator and all of that. Okay, so let's start with this. 20 over 5, that I can just do 20 divided by 5. I know that that goes in evenly, and that gives me 4. And then 2 divided by 1 is just 2. And now I can just simply add those together, is 6. All right, and then our last expression here has only variables. So let's go ahead and substitute those in. For a, I'm going to substitute in 2, x equals 5, over, let me write that a little bit better, and then we've got x is 5 again, plus y is 1. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and solve these. I'm going to actually move this over just a little bit. Typically when we're solving these, we start at the top and then work our way down. But because I'm going to be solving each the numerator and denominator separately at first and then dividing at the very end, I want to kind of treat both the numerator and the denominator as if they have a set of parentheses. I know the denominator already does have a set of parentheses, but whenever you have operations in the numerator and or the denominator, you want to go ahead and treat that like it is in parentheses, solve that first, and then once you've simplified that fraction, you can further simplify it if you can. So that's what we're going to do here. All right, so 2 times 5 gives us 10 for the numerator, and then 5 plus 1 gives us 6. Okay, so 6 doesn't go into 10 evenly, but I can simplify this fraction down. So I can divide both of these by 2, And if you need any extra help with fractions, I do have a video on that as well. So you can check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. Okay, and then 6 divided by 2 is 3. So then that gives me my simplified fraction. All right, thanks so much for watching. This is part of my pre-algebra series. So if you are in pre-algebra, if you're a teacher or a parent who has students in pre-algebra, please check out the link in the description. I have a lot of other pre-algebra videos that I've already created and more that are coming. So thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.